Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to
Mind Body Stuff.
I'm Kaylee.
I'm Bernice.
We're so glad you're here listening and hopefully conversing with us in your heads or out loud or in your journals or however we can be in conversation with you all. Don't forget you can go to our website and go start a new thread and we can chat and talk about all the things that we've said that make you mad or that make you think or
remember, it's just our opinions. We're not experts, just some silly opinions out there. And don't forget to rate us on iTunes.
Oh yeah,
because that's awesome. That makes us come up more often for lots and lots of people all over the world.
Oh yes, all over the world.
All over the world. Da, 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 da.
That's nice.
I know. Thank you.
Thanks.
So we just did a workshop last weekend.
We did.
Workshop number 4, which is Let Love In.
Let Love In.
And it's a pretty great workshop.
It's such a powerful workshop. I did not think it was going to affect me the way that it has.
And we've done it 3. This is our 3rd time.
We've done it 3 times now.
This was our 3rd time. And so we keep having more and more revelations ourselves as we do it.
Yeah.
And so I think Kaylee has some really interesting stuff to share today.
Oh, thank you.
What are those? What happened for you, Kaylee?
Well, it's interesting because, as most of you know, we did 4 different workshops this year. And they all had a different theme. So they were kind of split into the different parts of who we are. There was one about the physical body, one about the emotional body, one about the thinking body, and then this one was about the heart. And so as we were building and developing and just kind of daydreaming about these workshops, I always envisioned that the last one was going to be like the easiest. I thought, oh yeah, the love, the heart, like that seems like it was.
It'll be kind of light.
Yeah, and like just feel good.
Kind of like a big hug or something like that.
Yeah, and part of it absolutely is like a big hug. There's literally hugging and holding hands and, chanting together and sending each other love notes. There's all sorts of very loving gestures towards one another and towards ourselves. But I guess the realizations that I had were what surprised me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So because we got to do it 3 times now, which wow, if you have gone to one of our workshops and you go again, it's kind of fascinating the different stuff that comes up each time. But the first time we did this workshop was in Tulum, and I didn't know if some of just kind of like the magic of having spent at this point almost 4 full days with this group of women, if that's why day 4 was so powerful and impactful. I wasn't really sure because we had it was just really, really special and kind of sacred time that we had spent together.
Yeah.
So,
and we were just in this magical place too.
Oh my gosh, so just such a magical place.
I thought the same thing. Like I thought, wow, this is just it's just pure magic now.
Yeah, but then I was like, maybe it's the location. Maybe it's because we spent so much time together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Boise and did the workshop there, and it was magical again.
Mm-hmm. And we were, we weren't in Tulum. We were in Boise.
Yeah. Johnny's Fit Club.
Johnny's Fit Club.
Gotta love it there.
Had a little
Johnny's
room there, and it was just as impactful.
Yeah, it was really special.
Yeah.
And then, and then our third and last time of this year, we were here in the studio in Missoula, and this was our biggest group yet. There were 20 people who attended, and so I was a little apprehensive with a group that big if we were going to be able to create that feeling among strangers. And the group did it.
Oh yeah, it was pretty
amazing
with that many people, and the intimacy everybody felt at the end.
Yeah,
and the growth that happened. I also thought, the same thing in Tulum, that we were together for so many days that we wouldn't see that amount of growth.
Yeah,
with this one workshop, but it happened again in Boise, and it happened again here. So
yeah, it was really cool. But anyways, I guess maybe some of the interesting self-reflection that I've done, or the self-realization that I've done since these workshops, it actually, like, I don't know, it's big stuff for me, and I feel really vulnerable actually talking about it because it's fresh for me and it's sensitive. And I don't know, B, if you feel this way, but there's like it's kind of like scary to put your thoughts and feelings out on a podcast in the way that we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
know?
it's vulnerable. We're definitely vulnerable when we do it, and
yeah,
and people may not agree with our opinions or our,
or people can refer back to it later. I just had that happen where, I had a situation where someone was like quoting me back on one of the podcasts, and then it feels like, oh, it felt invasive, but then on the other hand, I'm like, I'm putting this out there.
I got frozen in time somewhere.
I know, and yeah, they got me on that there. It's really interesting, to be like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I did say that, and I did feel that way at that moment, or like, that I feel like was taken out of context. I don't know. It's very interesting.
And
to
that's
think
the
about.
beauty of these podcasts, I think, because they're so authentic.
They are. We literally have no notes.
No notes. We're just
texted
chatting
like,
here.
"Hey, should we talk about this today?"
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Got my chai tea, sipping that.
But I think it's like such a practice in just showing up and allowing yourself to be quote unquote seen, which obviously you can't see us, but you can hear us, and it feels
heard.
Yeah, we're heard. Maybe we're understood. Maybe we're not. Maybe we've sparked something in you. Maybe we don't. I don't know. It's a vulnerable place, but it's such good practice every week.
It
just
is
kind
good
of showing
practice.
up and sitting
to
down
model for all of us that we do need to take time every week to just kind of go over in our heads and with someone, if we're lucky,
right,
about what's up this week.
I can never do a podcast by myself. I don't think. I just love like working through my stuff by talking about it with somebody else. You know?
I don't think I could do one alone either. And that's why I think a lot of people that do the solo ones do interviews.
Yeah, they do a lot of interviews, don't they?
It's like, and here's an interview with Jane, so-and-so, who runs, Running World or whatever.
Right. I was just listening to one of Danielle Laporte's podcasts this morning, and
Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. You guys, guess what? Danielle liked one of Bernice's Instagram posts
about our workshop,
about this Let Love In workshop. That means she actually went to your page or your profile, whatever they're called, and liked it. But anyways, I was listening to one of her podcasts, but she only had 6 in her entire series.
Oh, yeah. She probably
I think it'd be hard to just sit and talk for an hour by yourself.
Alone?
Anyways, I'm still trying to get to my point if anyone cares about it. But here are my...
It's a good point.
Well, it's interesting. And it's kind of sad. So maybe that's why I'm stalling.
I don't think it's sad.
I think it's sad.
Of course, I should allow you to have your feelings. But
well, it just is like kind of shocking. So anyways, I'm going to talk about it because it feels vulnerable.
It feels so enlightening.
It feels, but also there's like, I'm feeling a sadness around it. But anyways, I'll share it. So with the first one, when we were in Tulum, I learned about, like, I learned that I'm not very good at creating loving relationships that just don't totally consume me and the person who's in that relationship. And I realized the work that I need to do is figuring out how to set healthy boundaries, and that actually setting boundaries is a way to show love.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so that's been kind of a big realization for me, and just kind of thinking about the relationships as I move forward with, just with different people and just different...
as your life progresses.
Yeah, as my personal life situation progresses, how I interact with people outside of my immediate family unit, I should say. So that was interesting, and I know I've got some work to do there. And then at this next one in Boise, I had a lot of revelation about my marriage and about so with the first one, I was like, oh my gosh, I let love too far in. And then I feel like I have no boundaries and this is unhealthy and da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay, that's where I need to do the work. And then after the Boise one, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if I actually fully let the love from my partner in. And then I'm like, oh no, I guess I have issues with not letting love in when I thought I had issues with letting too much love in, or letting love consume me. And And so in this Boise one, and you actually had a similar revelation afterwards. I was talking to Bernice when we got home, and I was like, I don't know if I totally let Rob's love in. And she's like, oh, too bad for you. And then it was like a week later or something like that.
A week later, it was after the Boise
one.
And I was like, well, that's too bad for Kaylee. She can't let Rob's love in. And we do an exercise where we have to let someone's love in. And I was like, I never choose my husband in that exercise.
Sure.
And then I realized, oh, I don't really want to choose him.
Yeah.
And I realized I had the same issue. And it's funny when you look at it in terms of people you're very intimate with. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're the hardest people to let in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
why do you think that
I don't know why. It's like when you're dating, of course, you're just all like, come in.
Oh,
don't you think? Like, I feel like I'm like, let's stare at each other for hours. And, you know, and make out and, you know.
Let's make out.
Or whatever, you know, you just are so intimate with that newfound love.
Yeah.
And then let's say 10 years, 15 years goes by. And I feel just I built like just all the life events, living and working and having children if you have them. I just built up a bunch of layers of stuff over that love, it feels like.
Oh, yeah. That's a great way to put it, I think.
Doesn't it kind of feel, it kind of reminds me of Fortnite, if you guys play Fortnite at all.
No.
You probably don't. But the guys, they're always like, you know, they see an enemy and then they have this ability to just build these sheds around them. It's all, and so they're building these sheds around them all the time. It's a weird concept. I'm like, what is the purpose of the shed? But I kind of feel like that's what I've done in my long-term relationship, is that I've kind of built these sheds over the top of me. Like whether it's like, well, we had kids and then this thing happened and then I have to work and you have to leave and then I had to build another shed over my heart.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. And I feel like, also one of my revelations, here's a side revelation. I start every sentence on this podcast with, and I feel that, and I think that, so I'm sorry.
I don't even notice
I need a new beginnings to a sentence. But I've been trying, so I had this like revelation. I'm like, I don't know if I fully let Rob's love in.
Rob's love in, yeah.
I don't know if I fully do. And I never got to the why. I just got to the revelation of, I think I still have like some guarding around my heart.
Funny too, because it's all about boundaries.
Yeah.
If we're thinking like boundaries in the beginning, not having boundaries, and then knowing people and then being like, you know, I better put a boundary, you know, I'm guarded.
And I almost think because we have built a life together. We have built, 15 years together. We have a family and children, and we've become obviously so intertwined that the more you're intertwined with someone, it almost is the scarier it would be to lose them.
Oh, good. That's
so
good.
Then you're like, oh gosh, like if I don't protect like what if something happens?
Oh yeah.
What if something happens? This would kill me because I have created and enmeshed myself with this person
human.
In so many ways that almost gets like scarier and scarier. When you enmesh yourself with someone that you have no
brand new,
there's nothing scary about it really, because you're like, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's right, and it's more exciting.
And
like,
it's
how
exciting.
Fun.
But like, I don't know. I feel like if we're at a poker table, it's just like more and more and more and more and more chips are stacked in that relationship.
Yeah, and then you're like, afraid to lose them.
I'm like, I don't want to lose this whole pile. I've got to make sure that I'm protected here.
Right.
In this.
And not too dependent, maybe.
Yeah. And so I guess after the second time doing this workshop, I couldn't really figure out why. I just came to the revelation that I do still have some protection.
And that's a very good point, Kaylee, because I think a lot of us get hung up on the why sometimes. And so we get kind of stuck there versus just saying, okay, maybe the why will come to me.
Yeah.
But I do know this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So that we don't get stuck on the why, because that can take a long, long time and kind of stops us from taking action on what we know is the issue.
Well, and then lucky for me,
Oh.
it didn't take too long. It took a couple weeks until we did the workshop again.
Yes, because we got to do the workshop again.
Again in Missoula last weekend, and I started to understand my why behind this.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a little refresh. We talk about this, the relationship with love, giving love, so sending love out, receiving love, how much we allow in, and then self-love. So, looking at it as like a triangle or a three-legged stool, and how all the pieces or all the legs need to be somewhat equal, so that we can have a stable base. But
a stable love base.
But so I was like, I don't know. I guess with the self-love, I felt like, oh yeah, I think I'm good there. I'm not amazing there, but I don't know.
But you were always very confident. You were like, you weren't like over, but you were kind of like, no, but I think I'm pretty solid in that area.
Yeah, and you've been so honest about how your glasses are that you're unlovable. But with me, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I totally know how that feels. I've been very clear that I've got these like I'm insignificant glasses, and
kind of not worthy sometimes, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm getting to the unworthy part, because I thought it was like, oh, I've got to make myself proud. I've got to make other people proud in order to be significant or to matter in people's lives. And I realized that
kind of tied back to your parents, making them, but there was always about, we're so proud of you, Kaylee.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then I realized, oh my gosh, I actually don't think that I have very good self-love. And I realized that one of the things that I do to protect myself is I think actually because I don't feel totally worthy of the love that maybe my husband gives me or the love that other people give me. And so then I put up a protective wall to be like, no, don't fully love me, because you'll be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Right, you'll leave anyway. So
yeah, and in Rob's case, I don't know if I'm not afraid of him leaving, but it's almost like I'm afraid that if you truly know me, that like that you won't love me, or that I'm unlovable.
That it'll really prove that you're unlovable,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think, something that you've talked really openly about for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm just now starting to understand in myself is like, oh my gosh, maybe that is ultimately the root of most of the struggles that we have in giving and receiving love.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not agree?
No, I do agree. I'm just trying to think about like in terms.
I'm wondering like, okay, if we feel ourselves as unlovable or of unworthy of love, all of that has this issue with self, then how can we fully give and receive love in the ways that are as bountiful and pure as they could be if we have that strong base of self-love?
Oh, right. I get it. And I even feel in my case that I'm like, well, what's the point of trying?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Absolutely. It's like, you're not, you're unlovable, so, just kind of do it half-ass.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think...
And I wonder for you do, I think we're all, like for you and I don't know about you folks, but we're trying to sort of, part of us is trying to keep that cycle going, like I'm unlovable, trying to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of us, the logical part, is probably trying to do the opposite. It's trying to say like, of course you're lovable.
Mm-hmm.
And you might do it by, some of the times, by letting people in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come in, love me.
Yeah.
And I'll love you, and I'll love you, and I'll love you.
And look how much love there is.
Look how much love there is. And then suddenly you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's too close.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head there.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think in our lives, don't you guys agree that you often try to prove your glasses?
Oh, you totally try to prove your glasses.
The adult self often tries to fix the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the dichotomy happening all the time.
Totally.
The person trying to prove that, of course, you're unlovable. We know that. That's why she looked at you that way, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the sort of adult self sort of saying, of course you're lovable. You're a good person. sort of patting you on the back. It's a weird, I think for me, it's a weird thing happening simultaneously all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another like pretty big reflection is that self-care is not the same as self-love, and you cannot substitute self-love with self-care. I do think it's a path to get there, but it's not the same. So for example, like, you know, you could go to as many like yoga retreats and, you know, inspirational speakers and get as much body work done and, you know, have special me days and read as many books, like self-help books. And you could say, look at how much I'm, you know, investing in myself and taking care of myself and I'm eating healthy and all of that. But that isn't going to solve, or it's not going to fix self-love, which is what I'm realizing, because I'm like, I feel like I'm really good at self-care, and I feel like I make it a priority, and it's important to me. But
you were so good the other day, because you were like, you had that revelation. You're like, wait, self-care is different than self-love.
It absolutely is.
And I had never thought of that in that context before. And of course, it's almost like you have a bucket and you're doing your self-care, so you're filling it and filling it and filling it, but you have a little hole at the bottom, and you just aren't aware that I keep filling it, but geez, I keep kind of getting empty after a while.
Yeah.
And so you really have to get to the physicalness of the bucket of love itself.
And I think my next step in this process now is trying to figure out, like, why I don't feel worthy of love, and why I feel like if people truly knew me, then they wouldn't love me.
Right.
But you're right, B. Like you say, you're always finding ways to validate this belief anywhere. So I mean, anything could happen. You know, it's always this validation. Like even a stupid shallow one. It's like, oh, tag your favorite Ula instructor who's changed your life, and I'm like, yep, no one's gonna pick me. You know, it's like, see, because I'm unlovable, and they just, you know, they like what I do, they just don't like me because I'm unlovable.
Yes, exactly.
They like everybody else, and you know,
you're proving it.
Good for me because I made this thing, but you know what? Yeah, it's not actually me they love; it's just what I do that they love.
Yes, good point.
You know, it's like I can prove it everywhere, and then it makes me feel like shit.
Oh yeah, and for me, I'm like, I don't even look.
Oh, yeah, and you're like, I don't care. I don't need their love.
I assume they don't love me anyway.
And I think that's an interesting...
Which is ridiculous, too. Like, that means I'm never taking anything in, even if one person said, oh, I really
changed my life.
And I'm like, okay, well, you must feel bad because I didn't get any others. So thank you so much for that.
It's very interesting. And I think, you and I have a very different approach. You're like, I don't need it. I don't really care. And for me, I'm like, yep, see, I knew that they didn't actually love me anyways. Right.
And we're both proving the point.
And you can prove your point.
We're both proving the point.
So what my work is
fascinatingly like that. It's a weird, it's the mind is like, yes, I shall prove that.
Right. And, I also like these types of things and these types of situations are good for me because I know that true self-love doesn't come from praise from other people. It doesn't come from other people loving you.
No, but it does. We do have to, but we do have to let love in, of course, is what we're talking about.
Yes.
And we can't base it on praise from others all the time. That's it's what's the word when that's very conditional.
Sure. Yeah.
But of course, we have to open ourselves up to it when it comes our way.
Yeah. Yes.
Not constantly trying to push it away or assuming that it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if 3 people say, I love you, Kaylee, I love what you do, you're like, yeah, but I should have had 10.
Mm.
There's always a comparison. Always kind of reminding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just like, oh, that one person said that.
Totally.
I'm going to let that in.
Yeah, I'm going to let that in.
I'm going to let that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus having the comparison. That stuff's always so disappointing.
Well, I think that's why we talk about it in this sense of like a triad or valuing the importance of all of these different ways in which love, the energy of love can flow to and from and through. Because, you see those people who their love is dependent on other people's praise or other people, showing them love, and that's how they feel validated in themselves. And then, you see the people who are only giving love, and that's how they feel validated and that they are a loving person. I think it's the more I think about this, the more I realize, I just think self-love is very, very, very fundamental to healthy love relationships with anybody else.
Yes, even with our partners, with our children. I think that was when it started to hit me first, was raising kids for me, because I was like, I'm fine. I'm doing great. I'd always had good self-care, pursued what I wanted to pursue, felt very open and kind of free-flowing in my life. And then I had these children, and suddenly I noticed how I was interacting with them.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And
I
felt conditional stuff, and I still do it. Sorry, Ray. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Sam.
And Ev.
Sorry, Ev.
Ev, you're just forgotten.
But when you have those, and maybe if you don't have kids too, you might notice it in your friendship relationships, your more intimate friendship relationships, where I would be with the kids, and something, even with Ray being sick, he's sick right now, and I'm like, but are you sick?
Yeah.
And I just posted a thing on my page today that Whitney had
posted
about saying things differently, because I do say I'm very conditional kind of in my speech with them.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying, oh, it looks like you don't feel well, or how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Sort of being open-ended.
Yeah.
I start right with a judgment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I do too. I was just having, well, and I think this is what makes me feel, I think this is actually one of the biggest things that makes me feel unlovable, or kind of like, if you really knew me, how could you love me? Because I have those reactions too to my children, and then I'm like, I'm a monster.
Oh yeah.
I'm a monster.
Oh yeah.
How could I make Huxley feel bad about what I just made her feel bad about? Like, only a monster would do that to their children.
Right.
It's fascinating, because having kids has made me feel, even though they've filled my life with more love than I could imagine, they actually have been this incredible mirror back to myself as to, I don't know, I feel like not a good person sometimes as a parent.
Yes, I totally agree.
And then that makes me feel like shit, because I only wanted these children, and I have these beautiful children. And I'm like, why can't I just be so grateful that you're here, and so patient and so loving and kind to you all the time,
and present
for you,
with them.
Yeah. Yes. And I think maybe it's because, and maybe the whole let love in with my partner too, because I'm like, you are all I wanted. I wanted a family. I wanted this so bad. And then when I feel like I'm not being totally appreciative of it or grateful for it, that's what makes me feel like a monster. And then I'm like, I'm unlovable.
And then you're proving.
And then I prove it, because I'm like, because did you see how I talked to her? Of course I'm unlovable. No one should love me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a terrible human being.
Oh, yeah. I did that this last weekend. Ray wouldn't go up. He ordered a chocolate croissant at breakfast, but he wouldn't. So we got our breakfast, but then the nice waitress forgot to give it to us. So I said, well, just go up and get your croissant.
Mm-hmm. Croissant. She's so fancy.
Croissant. And then, so he's sitting there, and my husband's with us. There's three of us. And I keep saying, go up and get your croissant. And he's like, I don't want to right now. So I'm like, are you afraid to get your croissant? And my voice and my tone is getting very negative. Yeah. And suddenly I hear myself like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. You don't get your fucking croissant. And then my husband's like, whoa, calm down. But you see, what's really happening is I'm tapping into something even bigger than Ray and the croissant.
Of course you are, yeah.
And he doesn't know it. He's just a kid.
He doesn't know. Totally.
And then it's tapping into my unlovableness even deeper down. Because inside I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
You should not be parenting.
Yeah.
You are not up to this job.
You're not up to the job.
You are not up to this job. You can't speak nicely. And again, but then later I go, oh, these are the moments where that's the mirror that I have to focus on and do the work. Of love.
Do the work of love.
Do
I love
the
that.
work of love.
Do the work of love. I read this beautiful poem by Nahira Wahid. How do you say her name? You guys know who I'm talking about.
She is beautiful. We read it.
It's just simple, but it's so like
to the point.
To the point. I'm saying this wrong, but this was kind of my takeaway from it. She said, "Even love requires love."
Even love requires. That is so true.
Is that not the most powerful statement? Even love requires
love.
Love.
That is.
Because it's like, yes, of course you love Ray.
Of course I
the
love
act
Ray.
of love, and also being giving ourselves grace for when we F it up. Like, we also have to love ourselves through these mistakes or through these challenging times with love.
Yes.
Love is maybe the most beautiful but the most difficult thing that we can experience as humans.
And it's so funny that, we talk about this in the workshop, that we're born in love,
Yes.
that, babies are love. When you see a little infant, you're not like, that baby's full of anger or hate, or you just see pure love.
Mm-hmm.
That little infant, that little
They're
being.
so pure and innocent. There's nothing but love. How could it be anything other than love?
And as they get older, even when they're that tiny, they're just like, they're just so free-flowing with their love.
They are.
They're free-flowing in giving it, and they're free-flowing in receiving it. But
they
somehow, over the years, we get put layer and layer and layer and layer on top of it, and we turn into people like you and me.
Monsters.
Monsters.
Right?
And then we have to go back and do the work of love, even though we originated with it.
Yes. Isn't that the work of our entire life?
It's the work of our entire life. Right.
To go back to that pure state.
Yes.
Of love.
And just let it come and go and come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Fill and release.
Yeah.
The whole...
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Like, this workshop, you guys, rocked my world.
Mine too. The whole thing. I thought, me and Mike were good. I'm like, I'm good. And then, but Kaylee knew, because that one day she was saying, like, well, me and I don't let Robin. And I'm like, oh, too bad for you. And she was like, okay. I saw her look at me, and she's like, well, I'm like, she doesn't know anything. What does she know? And then, but during that next workshop, then I looked at her and I said, oh my gosh, I don't let Mike's love in. And you were like, I know.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, oh, it's so shocking.
It's shocking. It's shocking.
And the work we do in that workshop, it's so cool, because you have to bring these people in if you want, in these certain exercises. And it's very interesting who we choose and who we changed in our choices, because we started with certain people, and they might have been our easier people, and we're working towards our harder people. Now, these are people still that love us.
Oh, yeah.
They're harder for us to let in.
Exactly.
Which is, I find fascinating.
It's fascinating. It's totally fascinating. Even our most intimate relationships, the ones that we know love us and we love them, it's very fascinating to see where it's still challenging.
Yeah, it has some hiccups and some barriers.
But I love doing this work, because just like you said, you didn't even know. It's just that awareness and just being curious, because then you can take these revelations or these aha moments, and you can bring them into your life and into your relationships. I can say 100% that I've really tried to be more present with my marriage, and like holding eye contact for longer, and truly feeling love pass between us, rather than sometimes just the logistics of life.
Yes.
Talking to be like, okay, yeah, and then I'll do dinner and blah, 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 like that type of stuff, and just kind of like just feel like love passing between us.
And it's almost like those short meditations, where you think, sometimes you think, well, I have to really meditate, I must do 30 minutes to an hour a day.
Yeah.
But, there is that research where, no, really, that would be great if we could, and that's awesome if you do, but you can do 5 minutes or 1 minute of meditation. Yeah. And it's the same with this let love in piece. Like, even with Mike and I, as we're doing the same thing. This morning, the same thing happened. We're like, who's doing the nebulizer? Who's doing this? Where are you going? Who's picking up who?
Yeah, it's like
and then suddenly
logistics.
I looked him in the eye and I'm like, look at me.
Yeah.
And we looked at each other for like a minute.
Yeah.
And then he was like, are we good? And I'm like, we're good.
I love that, though. I think it's so powerful. Yeah, just to pause and give that person that you're in relationship with your full presence. We don't do it that often.
No, we don't. We don't do it that often, particularly when we just get into ruts and patterns and ways of living our lives, which is what we do. We're very efficient. We're efficient people, like most of us are out there, I'm sure. Yeah. Doing lots of different things.
Yeah. I've even tried to notice, like, back here in the office when we're having like a meeting or something, people are talking and I'm still kind of like away on my computer or whatever. I've tried to just stop and be like, it can wait.
Yeah, we
stop.
should close our computers.
Just listen
in our
to what
meetings
this person
too.
is saying about what they're working on or what they need help with, or where they're at in a project. Just stop and listen
and give them your attention.
Give them your attention.
Yeah. And like I posted something the other day about as humans, we all just want to be acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's not like it was some piece, someone had written something about, when you go through tragedy or heartache, everyone's always trying to make it better. Mm-hmm. Or what can I say to make it better? And this person was saying, really, it's not about making it better. It's just like sitting with the person through the sadness. Yeah. And just being present. Like, okay, I acknowledge you feel this is very, very hard. And they're like, yep. And I just want to sit here with you.
Yeah.
And I think we have to do that with love.
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge each other as love beings. Mm-hmm. And take those few moments every day to look at each other as a love being. Mm-hmm. Not just like, there you are, another human, good luck with your day.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Running through your, chores.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's so interesting. Just fascinating, this whole love thing.
And it does change kind of how I view people.
It totally changes how I...
Or I'll do what I normally do, of course, like whatever,
But now at least you can be conscientious.
Yes, I'll be like, Jane's really bothering me or something, and I'll be like, meh. And then all of a sudden I look over and I go, oh, she's a love being. I just feel like she wants to be acknowledged in this moment.
Yeah. Or man,
she's struggling.
I bet Jane's having a really hard day today. That's why Jane is acting like a monster.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Jane's having a hard day, and I'm just reinforcing what she wants to be reinforced.
Exactly. It's so true.
That I'm a bad person. She's saying, please reinforce that. And suddenly I'm like, wait, hold on.
I don't want to reinforce that.
You're not a bad person.
I want to reinforce the truth.
Yes.
Which is that you're not a bad person.
You're not a bad person. You're trying to make sense of your life just like I am, just like you are, just like everybody is. And we all have different ways of doing it.
Yeah, very true.
So, really thankful for that workshop.
I am too.
And the people we've been able to work with.
Thankful for the people. It's like just showing up and being able to share that space with you all it's just changed my life. Mm-hmm. It really has.
Mine too. So very impactful.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Again, if this is a conversation that you want to engage in with the ULA world more, go to our website, go to the Connect tab, and then go to Mind Body Stuff, and we can just chat on there.
I love chatting.
It's my favorite thing. The most healing, the most kind of eye-opening moments of my life have been through communication with people who are truly listening and truly open to sharing. And I just could not be more grateful. So thank you all.
Thank you. Bye. Mwah.